Penn Teller Theater in Las Vegas, Nevada. Here's our host, Allison Hannigan.
Welcome to Penn Teller Fool Us. Tonight you have a choice. We can watch an unrated director's cut of my 1988 movie, My Stepmother is an Alien. Or we can watch the show where the world's best magicians get a chance to win a shot performing in Penn Teller's amazing Las Vegas show. Okay, magic show it is. And what better way to start a magic show than bringing out two of the greatest magicians of all time, Penn and Teller!
Stepmother's an alien. I would have gone for the director's cut of that.
Here comes our first magician. Teller, you think I'm bluffing? I'm not. Take a look.
My name is Anthony Asimov, and I'm what they call a prop magician. I did magic for corporations, for private parties for years, but I just felt another creative calling coming, and so I left magic. It was sort of like a coming out to my family. I'm leaving magic. My second love is horror movies, and so I moved to LA and became a producer. But every couple of years, I'd take out the cards, and the last time it happened, I had a lot of fun. Now, after leaving magic for 12 years and having a different perspective just from age, I would have to say I'm better. Now, I have a really nice balance of magic and horror. It's kind of like my life. If I'm not doing magic, I'm doing horror and vice versa.
This next magician is from Jersey, so if you think he's intimidated by Penn and Teller, forget about it. Here with two randomly selected members of our studio audience, please welcome Anthony Asimov.
Oh, I love a packed house. My name is Anthony Asimov, and when you see me do what I'm about to do, you're gonna say that was crazy, that was nuts. I was there, I saw him do it, and I don't know how he did it. Shall we begin? All right. That's nuts. Sir, miss, does that look like a bowl of walnuts to you?
Yes.
A big round of applause for our very observant spectators. I'm trying to get these cards out of my hands. The less I do with them, the better, okay? But for now, I'd just like you to confirm that they are different and in no particular order, correct?
Yes.
Yes, right here. Different, well mixed, and in no particular order, correct?
Yes.
The reason I'm trying to get these cards out of my hand is because when magicians touch the cards, they do that thing called sleight of hand. You've heard that before, right?
Yes.
Right. Well, I'm not going to do any sleight of hand with any of these cards. Mr. Gillette, if you could please name any number between 1 and 52, and I will count to that card. What number would you like, sir?
Let's make it 12.
12. 12 it is. Now, from the top of the deck, okay, and you please keep me honest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, correct?
Yes.
And we have the 4 of diamonds. Now, I have to check. If you had continued counting, we would have selected one of these cards, and none of these are the 4 diamonds, correct? Any of these cards, correct? But no, Mr. Gillette, you selected the 4 of diamonds. It's time to bring out my assistant. All I ask is the audience, do not be afraid. This is where Alien comes in. See him coming in? Ladies and gentlemen, this is Pickle. Everyone say, hello, Pickle!
Hello, Pickle.
Pickle likes to help, so Mr. Gillette, I'll put your card right here in his little hand, and he will hold it the entire time so we can remember the card. Sir, I have a bit of an embarrassing question to ask you. Are you okay with that?
Yes.
Do you have an aversion for tools that crack nuts?
No.
Are you a good nutcracker, sir?
Probably not as good
The
as you.
hesitation, yes, the hesitation is not good. Here we go. I will take out some walnuts just like this. Now, we need to all envision the letters. Can we all do this together as an audience? Envision 4 of diamonds, right? 4 of diamonds. Let's see. F-O-U-R-O-F-D-I-A-M-O-N-D-S. Miss, if you could just hold your hand out, just like that, palm up. Put that walnut right there. Now, what we're gonna do is crack open some of these walnuts just to prove that they are only walnuts, okay? I know some of you are suspicious because I'm a magician. Here we go. I'll do the nut cracking, that's fine. Walnuts, right? Maybe you reach across and pick up one. Nice. Have I convinced you these are just walnuts?
Yes.
Aliens are really good at duplicating things. This is where Pickle comes in. Pickle, do your thing. Did you feel anything?
A tap.
A tap, that's good. Here, is there anything in my hands?
No.
I told you thought this was gonna be nuts. Here you go. I'm just getting in the way.
Wow, come here, Anthony. That is nuts.
Thank you.
Did you come up with that yourself?
I did. Usually I get inspiration when I'm seeing other magicians perform, and I say, you know, that's such a great trick. What would I do? What would I do with that trick? And from there, you know, good magicians want to do their own magic and have their own sensibility and not copy other magicians. And
Right.
so that's really where I start.
All right, well, let's get these guys' perspective on this.
All righty?
All right, boys, time's up.
You know, a lot of people would think, people that had watched a couple seasons of the show and learn a little bit here and there, they would think that somewhere on the selection of the card, you would have manipulated my card selection, or you would have had a switch in your hands of the card. But no, you didn't do that. It was, the way you had it selected was very artistic, like Picasso, or to be more honest, like Banksy. You know, it was just fabulous how the selection was done. And then, although you didn't fool us, I want to judge you on a higher plane than as a magician. You know, because one of the things I love about performing, and what I always push for very much, is for things to be crazy and eccentric. So I don't want to judge you on the magician index. I want to judge you on the nut index. And your alien misdirection puts you at the top of the nut index. You were fabulous, but didn't fool us.
All right. Do you understand what he's talking about?
I don't know if I'm convinced. Where did I specifically...
He wants you to talk more about his nuts.
Okay, the misdirection of the alien allowed you to gather your thoughts and get ready. Then we saw you cop under the table, and we saw you add in as you laid the nuts out. I don't want to say more than that.
No, and I appreciate that. I bow to you, sir.
Okay, so now you're convinced.
This was so much fun. You love you guys.
Thank you, Anthony S. Thank you so much. All right, thank you. We have more magicians willing and ready to fool Penn and Teller. Will they do it? Come back and find out. More Fool Us coming up. Welcome back to Fool Us, where magicians could come at Penn and Teller from anywhere, including from right behind them. Just kidding. They'll come out right here after we watch this.
My name is Angela Funovits, and I'm a professional mentalist. I grew up as a small town girl. I had this huge interest in magic. My other dream was to become a doctor, and I was able to become both. The nurses that I work with joke that the Angela that's on stage is just my evil twin. I get to do things that are daring, that are dangerous, and I get to lie on purpose and get away with it. Medicine can have some similarities with magic. Patients come in and they are very much afraid of the unknown. One of the most powerful things that I can do is to build and establish a certain trust with a patient. It's the same thing that I have to do on stage. People have to trust you before they're gonna let you fool them.
This med school graduate specializes in dermatology, but can she get underneath Penn and Teller's skin with this next trick? Please welcome Angela Funovits.
Thank you very much. Throughout the ages, there have been countless demonstrations of subliminal and subconscious influence that have proven to be nothing but a hoax. However, dozens of studies have shown that human behavior can be primed in various ways. With that idea in mind, we're going to play a game. I'm going to use this here paper ball to select one random audience member to act as a test subject of sorts. Please catch. You, sir. You'll make a perfect test subject. What is your name, sir?
Jason.
Jason.
Yes.
I'm going to be showing you a series of several images, each with a word association. So, starting off. Love. Danger. Fire. Chance. Poison. Having seen those, I'd like you now to take a look at this blank slate and form in your mind any word in the English language. You have one in mind?
Yes.
Go ahead and say that word for us out loud, please.
Gold.
Gold. G-O-L-D?
Yes.
Gold. And, sir, before we go any further, I must say, some people might wonder, is it possible for me to have influenced his decision and to say that I somehow made you choose the word gold with anything I've just done is completely ridiculous. But you haven't seen what's inside that box. You still have that paper ball in hand? Please bring it on up here and join me. Give him a big round of applause. Thank you. Okay. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
So like I said, we need to get to what's inside of this box. We'll leave that there. What I brought for you, as you can see, is an American English dictionary. Now come right on over here.
Okay.
You and I are gonna stand right here, and we're gonna look up your word, gold. It's your responsibility right now. Go ahead.
I'll do my best.
All right. So let's see. We're at GAF, geometry, getting there. Gossipy. Oh, wait a second. What do we have here? We have page 210 on the left, page 213 on the right. You've almost found your word, correct? Go ahead
Almost.
and show that there is that one page ripped out of the center, right about where your word gold should have been.
Yeah.
And the question is, where's the page? You'll remember when I came out here, I started off with a little paper ball. I tossed that paper ball out to randomly select you. Please hold this open just like this. Because this right here, in play the entire time, is that your word?
That's gold.
A perfect match. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Jason. Ladies and gentlemen, that was incredible. Wow. Also, med school and magician.
And magician, yes.
And you sort of always, even as a child, had both in mind?
Yes, I actually did. When I was 10 years old, I actually wrote an autobiography. It was a class assignment. And one of the topics was, what do you want to be when you grow up? And I wrote on that page, I want to either be a doctor or a magician. Turns out I ended up becoming both. I found that book a couple of years ago, and it was really a beautiful thing.
That is so great. And do you ever get confused and do one when you're supposed to be doing the other?
Hopefully not at the very dangerous situations.
That's true. Well, if you could make a mole disappear, that'd be pretty good.
There you go.
Fantastic. All right, well, let's check in with Penn and Teller. Penn Teller.
Oh, my goodness.
Hello.
Angela, good to see you again. We know her.
see you, too.
We've seen her before. Good to see her. You know, this kind of trick, I want to talk about how you didn't do it. A trick like this is usually done with what's called pre-show work. And pre-show work means you do something with someone in the audience that is a real trick for them, but that the rest of the audience doesn't see. And then you call on that person and have them, are you thinking of a word? And what you mean is you're thinking of the word that we had you pick before. None of the rest of the audience knows that. That's called pre-show work. And it's one of the absolute rules we have on Fool Us, that you're not allowed to do pre-show work. So you've done a trick that would be amazing with pre-show work and is much more amazing without pre-show work, which you did not do. So, the trick you had to do right here, one of the amazing parts of it is that everything that had to be done was done right here on stage, crystal clear, and we just didn't see it. And what I want to talk about is women in magic, who are, it's a very, very rare thing, and I'm so glad it's starting to happen more. But you're really suffering for your art. You're wearing those high heels, and I have worn heels in a magic trick that are very, very high, and I know how much those hurt. And you're willing to suffer for your art, and I appreciate that. And there's also someone else who you work closely with who's also willing to suffer for his or her art. Is that correct?
That is absolutely
You
correct.
know what I'm talking about?
I know exactly what you're
You
talking
know what
about.
I'm talking about.
I don't know what you're talking about. What are you talking about?
We're talking about her great trick.
Okay, so wait, so you know what he's, I should have gone to med school. All right. So you're confident they know how you did the trick.
Absolutely.
And then I won't be able to sleep tonight.
Absolutely.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, Angela Funovits. More amazing tricks coming up, including one from our very own Penn Teller. More Fool Us after this. Welcome back to Fool Us. Don't blink as you try to figure out our next performers.
I'm Ivan Amodei. I'm an illusionist. My show, it's called Intimate Illusions. It's in an elegant setting, candlelit, and it has a concert cellist. So the cello creates a soundtrack for the show and just allows you to get into the feeling that I want you to have about the illusion that is coming. People are participating in almost the entire 90 minutes. My magic is different because I really want to convey a message about life, such as facing your fears or finding your destiny. If I touch somebody and it affects them, I have done my job.
Along with 18 randomly selected members of our audience and a cellist, say hello to Ivan Amodei.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And now, ladies and gentlemen, for the Cirque du Soleil part of the show. Hey, look, I'm as tall as Penn. This is a deck of educational flashcards. Each card has a state on it. One state for every state in our amazing country we live in. Okay? But instead of me shuffling, I'm gonna give the job to Penn and Teller. So I'm gonna take half the cards, and Penn, if you don't mind, could you please take this, and if you could hand it to Teller? And you're gonna take this half. I want you to remove one for yourself, one state pen, put it in your pocket, and begin mixing the rest. So, Penn, I know that you and I are both parents.
Yes, we are.
Isn't it interesting, ladies and gentlemen, as a parent, that if you bring your kids to the playground, that you can hear your kid's voice from among all the hundreds of other kids there, as if there is no other sounds. It's just your kids. Now, to me, when I saw that happen, I thought that looked magical. So I'd like to demonstrate for you what that looks like in action with everybody in this theater, and we're gonna times that, listening for one tune times 1,000, okay? Okay, so when you're done shuffling, gentlemen, may I have those back, please? You're done? Okay, hold on to these. I'm gonna leave these over here. And we're going to now use all the guests that are up here. Can you please all stand? Wonderful. And Penn, Penn, could I have you stand as well?
Sure.
Yeah. So I'm gonna give, you have one, yes?
I do.
I'm gonna give some to this group of guests here. Can you take this group and hold on to them? I'm gonna give this gentleman a group. Can you hold on to them? And I'm gonna give, let's see, I'll give you a group. Can you hold on to them? I want you to shuffle your little stack of cards, please. I want you to take one for yourself and hand the balance of the cards to the person to your left. I want you to do the same thing. Shuffle them, hand one to yourself, and pass the balance to the person to your left. Okay, everybody could you hand one to your left? Yes. Does everyone have one?
Yes.
Yes. Here's what I'm going to try to do, and everybody in this audience is going to help. I am going to try to listen for only what I want to listen to, which are the people standing, including Penn. So, when I count to 3, everybody here, including Penn, are going to shout out the state. Penn, take a look at your state that you are holding. And then everybody seated is going to do the exact same thing, except you guys are going to shout out any state that you want and try to confuse me. So if you guys seated don't know the states, ask somebody. The whole theater is going to erupt by everyone shouting a state, and I'm just going to try to focus only on the guests that are standing. Okay, shall we? On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, God. This is going to be harder than I thought. Okay, so you guys, if you hear me say the state and you happen to be holding it, I need you to just shout yes and then have a seat. I'm not going to be seeing you, so I need to hear you in order to know that I got you. Ready? Here we go. Maine.
Yes.
Sit. Alabama.
Yes.
New Jersey.
Yes.
Texas.
Yes.
Nevada.
Yes.
Florida.
Yes.
Illinois.
Yes.
Whew, this is so hard. What did I hear? Maryland.
Yes.
Oregon.
Yes.
I think I got a few more and I'm done. New Mexico.
Yes.
Colorado.
Yes.
And Michigan.
Yes.
We're done. Thank you very much. This is awesome. What happened?
You didn't call my card.
I didn't call you?
No.
It's interesting. Can I hear your name?
Maria.
Say your name.
Tanika. Nija.
Oh, can you say this to me? How you doing?
How you doing?
That's interesting. And then this guy right here. Can you say this to me? Say, I love you, Yvonne.
I love you, Yvonne.
Oh, that was weird. Did you hear his accent? The lady in the dress, Hawaii. The lady in the yellow, California.
Yeah.
The lady right behind her, Alaska. The gentleman in the blue with the accent, you have Arizona.
Yes.
Dude, you have Connecticut.
Yes.
You have New York.
Yes.
Ken, did you shout it out?
I did.
You did. What state do you have?
I have Rhode Island.
Rhode Island?
Yeah.
You are correct. I'm done. I'm exhausted. Come on, give him a big hand. Thank you very much. Go back to your seats. You keep the cards. Keep the cards. Let them all go back. Thank you. Thanks.
Yvonne, I love it.
How are you?
That was
see you.
so wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you.
So why did you want to come on to this show?
I wanted to come on because these two are, in my opinion, the best. And yeah. I really admire both of them tremendously. I understand what it takes because I'm in the same industry. I have never met them, so my little way of meeting them right now is good enough for me, and that's why I wanted to come on.
All right. Well, let's find out what they think.
Okay.
All right. Boys,
Teller just said when you came out, he'd been dying to see you work. And boy, this is the best first stage setup we've ever seen. I like this so much better than a big box or something. You filled the whole stage with people, and nothing's more interesting to look at than people. And the cello was a great touch. It's just fabulous all the way through. It's also important to say none of those people were plants, none of those people were set up. All that was done completely the way you said it was done.
Sure. Yes.
That having been said,
Yes.
we know a little bit about statistics.
Statistics?
Yeah,
Okay.
a little bit about it.
Okay.
And we're not sure in the final 6 standing up that there seems to be a little less clumping than there should have been if that was truly random.
Okay.
And I don't want to say too much more because I'm afraid that we will give away too much, and it's such a good trick. What else can I say to you?
Did they say enough?
Do you remember, Penn, that I had them shuffle?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so I just wanted to clarify that if you
Yes,
remember.
absolutely
Okay,
had them
cool.
shuffled, yeah.
Okay, cool.
And you had them shuffled too late for you to have done anything after that.
Correct.
But you did know, you did hand them out.
In clumps, yeah.
And the clumping that you handed them out in also was the clumping that the final 6 were revealed in, if you know what I'm saying. I hope they...
Okay, yeah, I understand what you're saying, yeah.
I have no idea what's
And do you
going on.
remember...
So do you understand?
You remember that I shuffled, you also remember that you shuffled.
Is that something that is an obstacle for you, gentlemen?
What's that?
That you both shuffled and I was able to just give them out?
Well, but you did have your back turned for some of that. So you
I
could,
did have
you
my
could
back
been
turned
setting,
for a
You could have
moment.
been setting up a little bit. All you needed to know was 18 divides.
Oh, wait, I'm hearing judges. Hold on.
It's hard for me to tell if they got it.
And the judges hear everything that Penn and Teller say when they're discussing.
Yes, of course.
And the judges have decided that you fooled them! It's a fool, ladies and gentlemen! It's a fool! There you go! Give it a-
Nicely done.
Thank you! All right, thank you! Ivan Amodei! One fooler just stumped Penn and Teller, but could there be more? Penn and Teller take on more magicians when we come back. Welcome back to Fool Us. If you think we ran out of magicians, you are wrong. Look, here comes another one.
Juggling is a metaphor for my entire life. I feel like I'm juggling everything. I'm coming up on graduation, and I have to decide whether I want to go into electrical engineering or become a full-time magician.
Behind me is a gigantic whiteboard with basically the rest of my life mapped out on it. No big deal.
I was trying to put numeric values to each decision and then try to add them up mathematically to see which decision would be the right one to choose. I'm a big chess player, so I like to think ahead. Who is the opponent? Probably life. If I fool Penn and Teller, that will increase my confidence in being a magician. What happens tonight could change my entire life. The entire course of my future hangs in the balance.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is his very first appearance on television. Please welcome Vince Charming.
Thank you, thank you. I think the key to life is that we are all just a piece of a puzzle. Now, of course, many of us are surrounded by many pieces, but I'm only 21, so here's me. I'm gonna need a volunteer to help me out with this, so I'm gonna need a volunteer from the audience. Please. Yes, you, man, would you mind joining me up on stage? Give her a huge round of applause. Thank you very much. Good evening, thanks for joining us. What's your name?
Kim.
Kim, would you mind stepping on right behind the puzzle box? I'm gonna have you reach in the center and just grab a handful of pieces, Kim. Okay, Kim, now, thank you very much. She's very precise about these pieces. Now, Kim, would you mind laying them out on the table? And we're gonna have to turn them all face up. So yeah, lay them out all on the table. Great, now Kim, we have 7 pieces for you to choose from. Now, but first I want you to make sure that they're all unique, that they're all different pictures, and even hopefully there's some variation in the design. They're not all like 2 holes and 2 pegs. You're really examining them closely, Kim. I need you to take any piece you want. Grab it, any piece you didn't even hesitate. You like knew what piece you wanted. You didn't even think about it that long. Well, Kim, I need you to keep an open hand and not to close it and keep the piece right there. Now, would you like to change your mind, Kim?
I'm good. Yes.
Okay, would you mind standing on right over here? Perfect. You just hold that piece, open hand. Great. Now, what I didn't tell you was that I actually bought 2 of these 1,000-piece puzzles with a sign that says, "Welcome to Las Vegas." And I built one the other night, and unfortunately, as luck would have it, it only had 999 pieces. Of course, I didn't find that out until I built it. You guys ever been there? Kim, don't you hate it when that happens, right?
So much.
I know, so much. Well, you did pick that piece. Would you mind coming on over here? Thank you very much, Cheryl. Let's sit down here. One piece is missing from the puzzle. Hopefully it's not too hard to see. Kim, would you mind handing me that piece? You picked one from thousands of pieces. There's one piece missing from the puzzle. If I orient it correctly, hopefully it should match and complete the puzzle. Give Kim a huge round of applause. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Oh, yeah, thank you very much. You have a seat. Yeah, you have a seat.
Vince Charming! Wow, that was incredible.
Thank you.
How do you feel being on TV for the first time?
It's a little nerve-wracking, to say the least.
Really?
I'm very nervous, yeah. As soon as I get in front of an audience, you know, I kind of calm down and I get ready. But when I'm doing a whole show, it's easier. When it's just a small piece, it's really hard.
All right. Penn Teller?
Yeah, I just want to tell you, Vince, that my first time on TV, I lit my head on fire. And it wasn't part of the act.
On purpose?
It was accidental. I was supposed to be doing fire reading. I spilled the fuel on me. I lit my whole head on fire, and then Teller became hysterical laughing. And that night, we went out, and then we had to get me an entirely different haircut, and I had to cover my face with makeup because it was all red and burned. So my first time
That's
out,
horrible.
I lit my head on fire. Your first time out, you killed. So you're way ahead of us. Way ahead of us. I would also say, and this is very strange, but we worked on this exact trick. And I got to tell people at home, this is not a trick I've ever seen before. I've never seen a magician do a trick with a jigsaw puzzle. And I don't know which one of us came up with it, but one of us became obsessed with the idea of a puzzle full of pieces and then having one piece of the finished puzzle that the audience members selected at random. We were working on this very trick, and we worked on it for a long time, a few months, and never got anything as good as you got. So you're a step ahead of us. Didn't light your head on fire. Finished a trick that we bailed on. Very, very good. And I will also say we love this trick. I will say that in magic methods, a lot of people think you can do anything in magic, and in truth, there's a very limited number of choices, even though to other people it can look infinite. And even though you worked on the trick and we worked on the trick, and usually those kind of things clash, in this case, unlike magnets, positives really did attract. We love this act, but we think we have a pretty good idea how you did it.
Does any of that make sense to you? Because positive stuff was said, I'm sure, but I don't get it.
It is very positive. Correct, sir. Yes.
Well, you didn't fool them, but you certainly charmed all of us. So, ladies and gentlemen, Vince Charming.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Don't go anywhere, because when we come back, we'll see Penn and Teller in action. Together for over 40 years, but they're taking on their biggest challenge tonight, trying to fool Penn and Teller. Here's Penn and Teller.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Oh, we are Penn Teller. We are such big fans of you guys. We just love you. You've been an inspiration our whole lives. We just adore you. We're gonna do a trick for you. Hope we fool you. Allison, could you come over here and join us? Please? Yeah, come over here. Okay. Sit down here. We're going to make you into the magician. Hello. Just make yourself comfortable right here, Allison. I have here a deck of cards here, Allison, and I want you to watch as I give them a perfectly normal shuffle there. There we go. And I'm just going to riffle down the deck, Allison. You just say stop.
Stop!
Oh, yeah, nicely done. Take a look at that card, Allison. Take a look at it. Memorize it.
Okay.
If you would, please, Allison, just write your name right across the face of the card, near the center, right near the center. Write your name real big across.
Okay.
We're not going to look.
Okay.
You can trust us. We're not looking here. If you bust us on looking here, you lose, okay? Right across there. And I'm going to have you do something that might, watch this carefully. I'm going to have you put that anywhere you want in the deck. Just put it anywhere you want in the deck. Anywhere you want in the deck. And I know you're not a tremendous shuffler, but do your best. Shuffle them up a little bit. Make sure it's lost there in the deck.
All right.
Because you're going to do the whole trick here,
Oh, boy.
Allison. You're going to do the whole trick.
All
So
right.
give a good shuffle so you know it's lost there. And you remember your card, don't you?
Yes.
Good, that's important.
Well,
But
it's
you wrote your
fine.
name on it anyway, yeah.
Phew.
Okay, here's what you're gonna do.
Okay.
What you're gonna do is when we give the cards, you're gonna give the cards a single cut. You know what a single cut is, right? Single cut. Then you're gonna just give them a riffle toward the muffin. That's what you're gonna do. Muffin. I did touch it, but I didn't do it. See, my hand's empty, I just touched a little riffle like that. Can you do that? Can you do
Yes,
that?
yes.
There's no shuffling thing involved. Okay, give them a single cut.
Okay,
Single cut. Single cut. Complete the cut. And now, riffle them toward the muffin.
Okay.
Riffle them toward the muffin.
Riffle. Riffle.
Nicely done. And now you've moved it over there. Look through and see if you find your card. You can turn them over if you want or spread them out, whatever you want. But I don't know what the name of your card is, but you have your name on it. Can you find your card in there, Allison?
No, no.
Nowhere in the deck?
Oh, no.
In that case, Allison, the trick is working perfectly. Feed that muffin to Teller.
Okay.
Feed the muffin to Teller.
I'm gonna take the paper off.
How kind of you to unwrap it. That's so
Well,
nice.
yeah, of course.
You're kinder to him. Feed the muffin.
Hi,
Teller.
buddy.
Feed Teller the muffin.
Hi.
Feed Teller the muffin.
There you go.
There we go. Watch carefully, Allison. What was the name of your card?
The four of clubs, I believe.
You four
Yes.
of clubs.
Yeah.
But on top of that, Allison, you also had that sign, didn't you? Take a look at that right there.
Yes.
And hold that up. The four of clubs. There it is right there.
That was great. You certainly fooled me. Now let's see if you can fool Penn and Teller. Whew. All right, let's see what they have to say. I'll just, So how old were you when you started magic? 5. Okay. Well, you're very good. Do you think you have a chance at fooling Penn and Teller? Oh, fingers crossed. All right, well, let's see what they have to say. Okay. Penn, Teller.
I got to tell you one thing. Out of all 3 seasons, every act we've seen, this is our favorite act so far. We just love you guys.
Wow.
You guys are tremendous. So good, so good. It's the card to the mouth, which is a classic trick. We've all seen the card to the mouth. We know how that works, but you had the card signed. So we know it's the same card to the mouth, makes it much, much more difficult. That was a beautiful thing. But I want to say, as much as we love this act, and we do love this act, and I love you guys so much, I love the fact that you're silent. You don't speak during the show. And there's a few reasons you don't speak during the show, isn't there? I mean, there's comedic reasons, of course, and there's also character reasons. But in this particular trick, the fact that you didn't speak made the trick work a little better. Now, I also want to tell you something else. Not talking from the top was very important, but also it was done rather quickly, wasn't it? You did all your moves rather quickly. You were moving fairly fast. You were moving like Quicksilver. You were moving like Mercury. Like maybe in your left hand, you were moving so quickly, there was a Mercury fold, maybe? Do you think you have any idea? Is there any idea how you did that?
Are you
those things give you some? Yeah, I'm speaking in code, so I won't break it, but does that give you a hint of how we did it?
Oh, no. Do you understand everything he's saying?
There have never been 2 better minds in magic. You guys are the best. We were worried we wouldn't fool you, but we need to know, Penn and Teller, did we entertain you? You guys are the best. We love you. Thank you so much.
Penn and Teller.
so much,
Didn't
Allison.
fool
Thank
Penn
you.
Teller,
Thank
but
you.
you put on a
Thanks so
great
much.
show.
Thank you, Penn. Thank you, Teller.
Thank you,
We
Penn
love you.
Teller.
Come on.